Break the board sports, SEC football Saturday. Click that like, hit subscribe. Let's get right into it. Georgia at Mississippi State. Now, this line was 6.5 earlier in the week. It's now ballooned up to 9.5. Georgia's laying at 56.5. Your over under 67% of ticket count, 76% of the handle is on Georgia. 33% of ticket count, 24% of the handle is on Mississippi State Bulldogs there in Starks, Vegas. 65% of bets going to Georgia, 56% of the handle, 35% of ticket count going to Mississippi State, 44% of the handle. Now, Georgia, we know they're tough, but they're just 6-14 against the spread their last 20 games overall, but they've been on a tear when it comes to the road. Georgia is 18-2 straight up on the road and 7-1 straight up in its last 8 games overall. Mississippi State, they've struggled to win ball games, 1-4 straight up their last 5. And against SEC competition, Mississippi is just 1-16 straight up their last 17. But they have been able to cover spreads. 5-0 ATS, their last 5 at home. 9-1 against the spread, their last 10 games overall. When you dive into the game a little bit, Georgia comes in 7-1 straight up, 3-4-1 ATS. Mississippi State 5-4 straight up, 8-1 ATS. So again, around a 500 ball club, but 8-1 ATS, good for one of the best in the country. Now Georgia, they're coming off that win 24-20 against Florida last week in a tough contest. Mississippi State coming off that 3-point win against Arkansas, snapping that 4-game losing streak they had going. Georgia's won 6 of the last 7 matchups. Like we said, they played last year in Georgia, a game Georgia won 41-31. So now you're hanging the spread right around that number. Now, the big piece of this would be the look ahead, right? That's the first thing you got to think of, because next week Georgia matches up with Texas. So not that it's a total overlook of Mississippi State, but Mississippi State, really hard team to get up for when you know you got Florida, your arch rival, the week before. Now you got Mississippi State down in Starksville wedged in, and then you got Texas next week in a huge game. So listen, my lean would be there's a 10 out there. I would lean to Mississippi State plus 10. I wouldn't have a ton of conviction with it, so I don't want it to make it sound like, hey, it's the best bet on the board. Again, one of our greatest things as handicappers is we're able to pick the games we want to bet. But I would say this, I wouldn't lay it on the road with Georgia. I think Mississippi State obviously sharpened the quarterback. Mississippi State, they can put up some points there. So again, the lean for me is Mississippi State, but I'm staying away from the game. And Texas A&M at Missouri, and I love this game other than the fact that Missouri's down not just their first string, but their second string quarterback. So it's really hard for me to step out there and bet a third string quarterback. Texas A&M laying 6.5, the over under 48.5, 81% of ticket count, 72% of the money going Texas A&M, 19% of ticket count, 28% of the handle going to the under. Sorry, that 81-72 was to the over. Now the spread. 70% of tickets going Texas A&M's way, 30% of tickets going Missouri's way. As far as the money and how that shakes out, 53% of the money on Texas A&M, 47% of the money is going to Missouri. Look, if Missouri had their quarterback, I'd be all about it. 6.5, I feel like they're really squeezing you a little bit here on this one. Now, A&M, 8-0 their last 8 games. Missouri 9-2 their last 11. Missouri is on a really good ATS run also. They're 9-3-1 ATS their last 13 games compared to Texas A&M that is just 4-9 ATS in their last 13. Over has been the way to go with Texas A&M. I love that receiving core they got. They've cashed 9 straight to the over on the road, and 7 of their last 9 overall have went to the over. Also, between these two teams, 4 of the last 6 games between these two teams have went to the over. So definitely a lot of play lean there to the over 48 in this one. Texas A&M 8-0 straight up, 4-4 ATS. Missouri 6-2 straight up, 4-3-1 ATS. Last year they played at Texas A&M. A&M rolled them 41-10. Over the last 10 meetings, Missouri does have the edge by a game in that. If you're looking down here statistically with both teams, Texas A&M is averaging 37.8 points per game. They've been electric. But listen, Missouri ranked 29th in the country, is right there behind them, a little less than 2 points, 35.9. Now, Texas A&M's defense, they're giving up 23.6 points per game. Missouri's giving up 16.8. So from a points per game perspective and all that, that spread would get you under there. I would have to get 7.5 to take Mizzou. I would need that 7 in the hook to feel good about it. But for me, again, just a no play. But I would lean with the home dog. I think this line is fishy. I think Texas A&M should be 8.5-point favorite, really, especially with Missouri without the quarterback. So this line's just really fishy. I want no parts of it. But if I had to make a play, I'd probably lean to the hometown Missouri. Auburn, after firing Coach Hugh Freeze, rolls into Vanderbilt here. Vanderbilt laying 6. It was 6.5. We're getting some buyback now on Auburn. Over under 45.5. 72% of tickets, 37% of the handle going to the over. 28% of ticket count, 63% of the bets going to the under. Now, as far as the spread shakes out, Vanderbilt's getting 85% of bets and 74% of the ticket count. Auburn, 15% of bets and 26% of the ticket count. Not a lot of love for them after firing head coach Hugh Freeze, one of the many firings across prominent programs here in the past couple of weeks. Vanderbilt, 8-2 ATS their last 10. Auburn, 2-6 ATS their last 8. Now, Auburn's on a 1-5 straight-up skid their last 6, as to where Vanderbilt, not only are they 8-2 ATS their last 10, they're 8-2 straight up. Now, head-to-head, the under is cashed in 6 straight games, and for Auburn, 7 of their last 8 have went to the over. However, Auburn and Vanderbilt, straight up, Auburn has won 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Auburn comes in 4-5 straight up, 3-6-1 ATS. Vanderbilt comes in 7-2, 6-2-1 ATS. They met last year in Auburn, a game in which Vanderbilt won 17-7. They've split their last 6 meetings head-to-head between each other. Auburn's averaging 22.3 points per game. Vanderbilt, 16th in the country, 37.6, so about 15 points per game better. Defensively, Vanderbilt's given up 20.4 points per game. Auburn giving up 17.7. Look, for me, it would be Vanderbilt or nothing here. I do like Vanderbilt if you put them in some kind of money line parlay situation, like them and a Texas Tech, who I'm really high on. I'm not laying the number. It's ballooned up, but I think they win the game. That would be my lean. Last game here on the board, we want to talk about LSU and Alabama. Another team fired their coach in LSU. Alabama, I never thought I'd see this. Alabama, LSU, and somebody's favored by 10.5. That's just crazy to me. Over under 49.5. Now, 72% of ticket count, 56% of the handle to the over, 28% of ticket count, 44% of the handle going to the under. Bama's receiving 70% of ticket count. LSU's receiving 30% of the ticket count. Now, as far as the splits, 54% going to Bama, 46% going to LSU. This has been a storied rivalry for a long, long time. One of the games we look forward to each and every year, but LSU not holding up their end of the deal. They're 8-3 straight up their last 11, but just 1-4 ATS their last 5. Switch over to Bama. They're on a 7-game win streak, and in that period, they are 5-1-1 ATS. Simpson and company, Kalen DeBoer's got Alabama rolling. Now, head-to-head, the over is cashed 4 of the last 6 games. But flip over to LSU and Alabama separately. 12 of the last 14 for LSU have went to the under. 4 of the last 5 for Bama have went to the under. Now, head-to-head, Bama over the last 14 games has beat LSU 12 of the last 2, or 12 of the last 14. So 12-2, Alabama is straight up against LSU. Got to wonder the mindset here with LSU, what they're thinking, firing the coach. Now, just a lot of questions with LSU. I love Alabama in any kind of money line parlay situation. If you're putting together a 2-3 teamer, me personally, I had Alabama, Texas Tech, USC already cashed that in, but I would take Alabama and Texas Tech money line and find a kind of a shorter one to put them with. Maybe it is a Vanderbilt. Maybe there's somebody else out there. But those would be my leans. Click that like, hit subscribe, Break the Board Sports, where we help you become a better handicapper. Breaking down St. John's, Alabama. We won our first college basketball game of the year last night as North Carolina cruised for us. Click that like, hit subscribe. God bless, and happy handicapping.